Hello everyone, welcome back to Ansarkari. So starting with our discussion for the important topics from 20th of October. So firstly, we see how innovations are helping us in moving ahead towards sustainable development. So this is the case study related to how we are actually reusing mining dust, which we can say is an example of negative externality, but we are taking this or we are converting it into an opportunity to enhance carbon capture. So this case study relates to the company is Alt Carbon. So it is collecting crushed basalt from the Raj Mahal mines and has them sprinkled on their tea estates. So this is a Darjeeling based company. And apart from this, their approach is geochemical process, which is called the rock weathering. So they are collecting this crushed basalt. So this is happening naturally through the geochemical process, which is called as the rock weathering, and they are reusing it. So this is also, we can say, an example of circular economy at the same time. So consequence of, if we see that all rocks, they are naturally, they are breaking down into minerals, into smaller particles over thousands of years. So consequence of this is that the atmospheric carbon, it reacts with those minerals. For example, it can be calcium and magnesium largely, and they turn into bicarbonates. So through aquifers, when they're coming into contact with waters through rivers and other streams and lakes, so they make their way into the oceans where carbon is logged in for eons. So oceans, thus, they are the major carbon sinks, and they have around 30% of the carbon, or we say ocean acidification is also increasing with this. So 30% of the CO2 from human activities is stored in oceans. And basaltic rocks, it is a kind of a volcanic rock which is rich in minerals like calcium and magnesiums. So even in other states like Maharashtra and Gujarat also, where we see like Deccan traps are located, so they are rich in such basaltic rocks. So as parts of, we see that Jharkhand, West Bengal, even the Raj Mahal traps. So Deccan traps and Raj Mahal traps, these are the two keywords that we can look forward to. So it acts like an organic fertilizer. So this basaltic dust, it enriches the soil as well as it accelerates the carbon sequestration or the carbon capture. So this would be helpful in terms of meeting our carbon neutrality goal by 2070. So even other like McKinsey, they have published a report. So they are also like it is related to buy a triangle of carbon sequestered this way in advance for $5 lakh. So carbon credits that is also generated this way, and they are bought by companies and they can then use it to offset their carbon emissions. So currently these are again in infancy stage. These are new innovations. So right now they are voluntary in approach. So that's how we can talk about how businesses can move towards sustainable models. India to seek certification from WHO for eliminating Kala Azar. So when it comes to elimination, so we are already polio free. Now we are talking about that India is already eliminated. Now we need the certification from World Health Organization regarding the same. So Kala Azar and its incidents were majorly concentrated in the states like Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and parts of Uttar Pradesh. And Kala Azar is an example of protozoan disease. So it is caused by the protozoan parasite. And it is because of an infected female sandfly, which is the vector. So it leads to fever, weight loss, and anemia. So we have managed to keep the number of cases under 1 in 10,000 for 2 consecutive years now. So this is one of the bases of determining whether a country it is able to eliminate a particular disease or not. Then it is also a slow progressing indigenous disease, which is caused by again a protozoan parasite of genus Leishmania. So in India, this is like Leishmania donovani. This is the only parasite which is causing this disease in India. So we have been able to control it and slow down its spread. So we can remember these facts from the perspective of prelims examination. So health ministry had adopted different strategies like early diagnosis. So here we talk about the importance of early screening in terms of diagnosing so that we are reaching the last mile. So the role of primary healthcare centers becomes important. We're working at the sub-district levels. And apart from this, complete case management. So every stage or every layer in order to treat this disease has been taken care of. So National Health Systems Resource Center, Health Ministry, they said India's Kala Azar program, it focuses on active case detection, effective vector control, which is sandfly, raising community awareness, how to prevent such cases, and then if symptoms are detected, then how to quickly go ahead with the treatment. So it is no longer a public health problem in India, but now we need that it is certified by WHO, and it also affects the liver of the human being. So it can also be fatal if it is left untreated in more than 95% of the cases. So now ensuring that we are able to maintain that the number of cases do not increase in future. For that, vector surveillance, supervision, monitoring, surveillance, evaluation, and advocacy communication, social mobilization for behavioral impact and intersectoral convergence would be the important thing for the future aspect. And at the same time, we can also say that even Swachh Bharat mission has been somewhere contributory in this case because it leads to, again, we try to maintain adequate sanitation, hygiene, and poverty alleviation also somewhere is related to it. Or when we talk about the nutritional security, so you have strong immunity, so somewhere it helps you in terms of fighting with the disease. Coming to another science news. So plankton balloon to 6 times their size to reach ocean surface. So planktons are found everywhere, where we're talking about their journey from cold, dark depths of oceans to surface. So when we're talking about retreat of oceans, so when there are we can say increased chances of such planktons who have been hidden or who have not been able to come in contact with the outer atmosphere. So now, with the melting of the glaciers, retreating of glaciers, what new types of diseases can be spread with them is one challenge. So phytoplanktons are single celled, most of which they no appendages to help them swim. So make this pilgrimage has remained a mystery. So this is still a mystery for us. So there was one research vessel off the coast of Hawaii. One of the authors, they stumbled upon a bloom of this type of plankton. Surprisingly found two very different size in their nets. So how cells do massive inflammation in such types of planktons was witnessed. So gravity machine, this was also utilized. So altering water pressure density within the gravity machine, team can create a virtual reality environment mimicking the ocean depths. So how it behaves and how again it can also prove to be when it we say that biological oxygen demand, if that increases because of again plankton boom or balloon, that hampers, we can say, the healthy state of our oceans, directly impacts the marine ecosystem, impacts the fisheries, the fishes which are there, causing to mass deaths, and directly also is related to the livelihood of fishermen community. So RSV vaccine, so respiratory syncytial virus vaccine has found the vaccine to be highly effective in older adults. So it provided approximately 80% protection against the disease and hospitalization. ICU admission was also prevented with this. Ultra processed foods, dangers with increasing non communicable diseases, or ultra processed foods, they also have high concentration or they are high in salt, sugar, and fat. So naturally, it leads to increased cases of type 2 diabetes, obesity, more respiratory diseases, weakens your immune system, and cardiovascular diseases. So early death, and these are again adulterated. So the regulation of food processing industry is firstly very important. Regulation of the FMCG sector becomes very important. So role of Food Safety and Standards Authority of India is crucial. So even we are talking about the nutritional standards need to be clearly mentioned behind the packaging of such types of the dead foods. These are not called as living foods because again, these are ultra processed. They have high shelf life. So redesigned programs can improve TB treatment outcomes in India. So doubling firstly the direct benefit transfer to rupees 1,000 per month, disbursing rupees 3,000 at the time of diagnosis, and nutrition support to the TB patients can have a huge impact. So it's both financial and in-kind support that can help. So Ministry of Health has doubled this direct benefit transfer from rupees 500 to 1,000 per month. Then we have the Nikshay Poshan Yojana, which is again related to dealing with the TB treatment. So there we are disbursing 3,000 rupees at the time of diagnosis. And there's also one proposal to provide energy dense nutritional supplements to the underweight patients for 2 months. So these are key phrases. Then rations trial. There also we found compelling evidence that nutritional support. So when we are talking about rising cases of anemia also, even like that creates a problem. So dealing with different cases in a multi-dimensional manner is going to help us in reducing the TB burden. So India reports 3 million TB cases, means 30 lakh TB cases. And out of that, we see 3 lakh TB deaths each year. So 10% is the death rate. And apart from this, we've also seen how we are ensuring that availability of medicines is also crucial. So, firstly, have we talked about the financial support? Secondly, talking about availability of nutritional support through energy dense nutritional supplements. And thirdly, we talk about the standard of drugs and the availability of drugs, even when it comes to the affordability aspect and reducing the out of pocket expenditure. So, tea drinking across India. So tea plants, they came to India from China and Southeast Asia about 3 centuries ago. So there was similar question in prelims this year. So tea is not native to India. This is one fact, and it was brought here by uh, India by the British colonialists. So it came from China and Southeast Asia. So we see that the major concentration of tea plantations are in states like Assam, where we see Darjeeling tea was the first one to get even the GI tag. And plantation crops is what we can say, or the cash crops. And some areas in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and even in like Uttaranchal and UP. So Uttarakhand, UP, they've also started growing tea. So there was this question also like Kangra tea, Himachal Pradesh. So people got confused at that time. India consumes 15 times more tea than coffee. North India tea has become the main daily drink, both in urban and rural areas. So chemical components, we see that these are rich in aroma. It gives tea its fragrance. So apart from this, aroma-filled compounds are more rich. And our daily diet, we have them in like carrots. These are also found in like other food items that are available: carrots, pumpkins, sweet potatoes. So non-volatile examples, amongst this is like salt, sugar, calcium, fruit. But again, excessive consumption of tea is also harmful at the same time, because we are seeing that it is related to gastrointestinal diseases, or more since it is acidic in nature, so excessive consumption leads to more generation of acid in our body. So it has also positive is that it has more antioxidants than coffee beans. So in comparison to coffee, it is stated that this is better. And it is also claimed that coffee is better against diabetes than tea. So again, each is having their own benefits at the same time and own negative impact. So this has become, we can say it has, tea consumption has become a behavioral aspect of the Indian civilization. So related to stress, anxiety, cardiovascular health. So vitamins and protective compounds are helping in dealing with such cases, blood pressure, cardiovascular health, reducing diabetes risk. But again, consumption in regulated manner is recommended. How will your classical status help the languages? So firstly, in protection and also in terms of preservation. So more fund availability would be one aspect. So recently we saw that the new languages like Marathi, Bengali, Assamese, Pali, and Prakrit, they've been categorized under the classical languages category. So, what basis is such a status accorded? Although we have covered this topic, it's a repeat. So, firstly, what are the bases? What makes a language classical language? So, it has been defined in three criterias are there. So it's early text and recorded history dated back over 1,000 years is one aspect, that it had a body of ancient literature considered a valuable heritage by generations of speakers. Thirdly, that literary traditions must be original and not borrowed from another speech community. So Tamil was the first language declared to be classical. And then further, these criteria were tweaked in 2005. So pushed back the historical requirement to 1500 to 2000 years. So literature needs to be distinct from the modern literature. And there may also be discontinuity between the classical language and its later forms or its offshoots. So this is also one important criteria. So other languages is Sanskrit, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, and Odia. So Union Ministry of Culture is the institutional authority here. So classical status is a matter of national pride for a language. It will help research proposals also in vernacular languages to get central funds. And also the part of literature, like when we talk about that more text, these should be converted into such classical languages as a part of preservation. We can see another method can be that we can have more courses in such classical languages at the university level that can also help in preservation. And also the conversion to, for example, when talk about the different judgments, so we talk about that they are being converted into regional languages with the help of AI. So why not in classical languages also? So it's important the language in which Nobel Prize winner Rabindranath Tagore he wrote is recognized as a classical language at a time when many people they're reluctant to speak in Bangla. So even again, people who speak in the regional languages or the classical languages, even they are looked down upon, that they are backward or they don't know English. So that can be also one of the aspects. Through this we can deal with the taboo that is associated with it. And then many rock inscriptions in Assamese are yet to be deciphered. So stress factors for Indian railways. So for in the context of Indian railways, we've been talking about in the context of first the railway safety. Then we talk about dedicated freight corridors. And here from the perspective of finance, we can talk about the stress factors, like how we are able to manage again the carrying capacity of the trains. Then the train wagons that are being manufactured or how we are manufacturing them. So how we can achieve more cost competitiveness through using the modern technology. So firstly, it is again talking the context of the accident. So here we talked about Kavach, which is an automatic train protection system. Then again assessing here that if the train accidents are happening because of human error, so better training can be another focus area. And since railway budget now it has been merged with the general budget, so here also finance like one unique fact about the Indian Railways is that it is completely debt free. It is not having a single penny of debt. So, how this self-sustaining model can be positively grown further is the challenge in front of us. So, operating ratio. So, operating ratio is the amount railway it spends to earn rupees 100 in 2024-25 is estimated to be 98.2 rupees. So, this is it is spending. So, somewhere it is earning 1.8 rupees. So, a small improvement from 98.7. So it was earning 98.7 rupees after like it was spending this much to earn 100 rupees. So it has the gap has increased. So that is indicating better improvement, but it is a marginal increase. So Niti Aayog has estimated that revenue from both the sources, like uh, the passenger services and the freight services, free services accounts for 65% of the revenue. So revenue from both these sources, it is increasing. Freight rates have increased more than twice as fast as passenger rates. So that is more competitive. So draft National Rail Plan nearly it says 30% of the railway network is utilized to more than 100% capacity, more than 100% capacity. So should we have more again like more railway trips should be there, or again we for this we again need more rail wagons. So dedicated freight corridors is again providing us more reduced logistics cost, we can say. Then western dedicated, eastern dedicated rail freight corridors, coal accounted for again half of the freight revenue, 45% the volume in again. So again, in this context, like in Germany, we are seeing a train has been successful. It is running on fuel cell based technology. So even the trains which are operating through again electricity, so ensuring that how we can supply the electricity generated through renewable energy can be another improvement area or reformed area. And then the depreciation reserve fund. This is also one of the funds. It also fell 96% again after 2014. So these funds have been moved to now the Rashtriya Rail Sanraksha Kosh Safety Fund, which was created in 2017-18. So Standing Committee on Railways said that later it wouldn't be able to pay the repair or replace the depreciating assets in the railways. So firstly, again, its fund availability is the major challenge in front of us. And also in terms of again, like the passenger services, this is one of the train services is where we see that even all class of people are traveling through railways. So ensuring that again each section is not getting hampered if we are changing any pricing related to the railway travel. So did Google violate antitrust laws? So in context of India, again, we talk about the role of Competition Commission of India here. And we have seen previously that antitrust legislations they are still ongoing in India also against Google. That firstly they pre-install the Google apps in the Android phones, which is again not a competitive practices as far as again the other alternatives in the market is concerned. It creates certain bias against its usage. So implications, the ruling, especially the injunction against Google, could be profound for the app economy. App economy की यहाँ बात हो रही है same चीज. So Google, Apple, and again whether these again apps are leading to any kind of surveillance or जो data है, data of the users of these apps in the mobile phones, the safety of the data is another concern. Like these data might be getting sold in another market merely to earn profits. So LG clears resolution urging the center to restore the statehood. So this is in the context of Jammu and Kashmir. Since Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, they've been made a separate union territory. So this is again same demand is being raised by the Ladakhi people also. So here in the context of Jammu and Kashmir, we are seeing so resolution urging center to restore the statehood. So we can look into what is the proper procedure to for achieving statehood for a union territory. So the cabinet, which met under the chairmanship of Mr. Abdullah, it passed a unanimous resolution for restoration of the statehood in its original form. So reclaiming those rights. So here, firstly, we see that role of LG, that is the first step. Cabinet has authorized the Chief Minister to take up the matter with the Prime Minister and Government of India for restoring statehood. So protection of Jammu and Kashmir's unique identity, constitutional rights of the people remains cornerstone of the newly elected government. So we can look into more detailed procedure. The entire procedure is not mentioned over here. Like what kind of majority is needed in the parliament to pass such types of resolutions. Quad power, naval ships of India, US, Australia, Japan during the Malabar exercise 2024. So participation of warships, integral helicopters, long-range patrol aircraft and submarines were utilized. So in the front, we can see this is a submarine. So quad power, again, ensuring the balance in the Indo-Pacific region that we always say that the whether it is Quad, whether it is ASEAN, we aspire for free and open Indo-Pacific region where rules-based international order is being followed. We are following and implementing multilateralism and dealing with again unilateral and aggressive actions of China, be it in the nine dash line or be it construction of artificial islands or rising tensions in the Taiwan Strait. But apart from this, we also talk about that Quad can play an important and a crucial role when it comes to increasing our economic strength and economic ties. Because of again the importance of sea lanes of communication which are there and the important choke points like the Malacca Strait or even the Sunda Strait is located there. So Delhi and its many names. Like Delhi is a city of many names, won titles including Dhilupura. Like हमें दिल्ली का पुराना नाम जो पता है that is इंद्रप्रस्थ. उसके अलावा नहीं पता है. So it was also known as Dhilupura, Dhilika and Yoginipura. So Tomras, how they described it was at Dhilupura, while Yoginipura it appears in various inscriptional and ancient Jain texts. So iron pillar inscription is there. Other fragments from the archaeological area suggest region was known as Yoginipura during the Gupta period also between 4th and 6th centuries. And Pratihara period 6th to 9th century. तो उस टाइम पे दिल्ली या फिर दिल्ली का बोलते थे तो धीरे धीरे वो दिल्ली हो गया 1400 BC and the capital of Pandavas. So it is more of factual thing.
इससे हम बोल सकते हैं कि 1400 BC में इट वाज कॉल्ड एज इंद्रप्रस्थ। उसके बाद फिर दिल्ली का जो रेफरेंस था वो कहीं ना कहीं लिखा हुआ है कि इंस्क्रिप्शन 13th सेंचुरी में इंस्क्रिप्शन वाज फाउंड इन बाउली स्टेपवेल वहाँ पर। वहाँ से फिर दिल्ली एज ए युगनीपुरा स्टैब्लिश किया। तोमार का है, तोमार के अंदर में दिल्ली आता है। देन लेटर तोमार्स दिल्ली वेर
Yeah,
कैप्चर्ड बाय
Tomar.
चौहान।
Yes, Tomars, Chauhans,
हाँ,
Chahmans.
फिर बाद में चौहान सा
Then
है। पहले
बिल्कुल
तोमार सा उसका फिर चौहान। हाँ, और फिर उसका
Kila
फिर
Rai Pithora and Lalkot. They are the two archaeological sites which are linked with this. Mehrauli ke paas Kila Rai Pithora and Lalkot. And after
तो
that,
हाँ,
continuity hai. There is an inscription also. Myths and legends भी हैं. We 5 प्रस्थ थे, सोन प्रस्थ जो सोनीपत बन गया, और एक पानीपत हो गया, एक बागपत हो गया, ऐसे 5 थे. That's how it is. It's and then In Delhi also we know there are different locations, जिसकी वजह से cities अलग अलग टाइम पर क्रिएट हुई.
हाँ ये सर. और सेकंड जब हाँ, पीजीडब्ल्यू और एनपीवीडब्ल्यू बोलते हैं, नॉर्दर्न ब्लैक पॉलिश्ड वेयर, उसमें भी इंद्रप्रस्थ का नाम आता है, पुराना किला एक्सकावेशन. वहाँ से भी बहुत से ट्रेसेस मिलते हैं एनपीडब्ल्यू के. तो इसका मतलब बताया जाता है कि पोस्ट हड़प्पन और इवन पीजीडब्ल्यू के समय में हस्तिनापुर और इवन अतरंजी खेरा, अचत्रिया और पुराना किला फेमस है. लेकिन इसमें अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस शाहजहानाबाद, वो भी मुगल के समय में बनाया गया था. और मामलुक डायनेस्टी, स्लेव डायनेस्टी 1200 1300 के समय में तुगलकाबाद जस्ट नियर टू दिल्ली है. शाहजहानाबाद भी है नियर टू दिल्ली. और उसके बाद से फिर दिल्ली बिकेम कैपिटल वापस से, जब ब्रिटिशर 1911 के अंदर में, पहले कोलकाता हो गया था उस समय. प्लस में एक और एक कीवर्ड दिया हुआ है अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिल्ली. यहाँ बात हो रहा है शक्ति पूजा का, योगिनी टेम्पल्स. तो योगिनी टेम्पल जो जो योगिनी टेम्पल हो, कहीं ना कहीं 64 योजनी आर कंसिडर्ड एट अटेंडेंट और मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ गॉडेस दुर्गा. योगिनीज टेम्पल यूजुअली हैव अ डिस्टिंक्टिंग फीचर्स. सर्कुलर रहेगा, रूफ नहीं रहेगा. दैट इज भाई, जो एक पार्लियामेंट जो बिल्डिंग है, उनका भी एक रेप्लिका नहीं बोलते, वहां से इंस्पिरेशन आया था योगिनी टेम्पल्स इन इंडिया. तो मध्य प्रदेश, जबलपुर, खजुराहो डिस्ट्रिक्ट, 64 योजनी इन
बिल्कुल है वहां
उड़ीसा.
पर, चौथी योगिनी और अष्ट मातृका दोनों है.
आसमान.
इवन दिल्ली में भी है, योग माया मंदिर एक है महरौली में, योग माया टेम्पल, दैट इज ऑल्सो having certain antecedents with this concept. So they are very old. सप्त मातृका का कॉन्सेप्ट की जो ट्रेसेस हैं वो हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन से मिलते हैं. फ्रॉम देयर यू कैन फाइंड.
यस.
और 64 योगिनी, वही बात है कि एक उसके पीछे पूरा इकोसिस्टम है. खजुराहो में है, आई हैव सीन, इनफैक्ट आई हैव विजिटेड दैट. खजुराहो और ये जो आपका ललितपुर, ओरछा, जो मध्य प्रदेश का जो रीजन है सेंट्रल इंडिया, दे हैव वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इवोल्यूशंस. उसमें कॉस्मिक टाइम और स्पेस, टाइम एंड स्पेस का कॉन्सेप्ट भी आ जाता है. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड ये जो नुएंसेस हैं, सो दैट वन कैन ब्रिंग ए काइंड ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग. थैंक यू.
So solar module producers take IPO route to fuel growth and counter China's dominance. So IPO route is again initial public offering through which they will be able to raise adequate amount of finance and the capital that they require in terms of manufacturing these solar modules domestically and indigenously. So the sector is turning to public equity investors to expand their capacity and secure their supply chains. So example is the Vari Energies is one company. So it is India's largest player in the sector. So soon it is going to launch its IPO. And so even exports to the US have seen an uptick. So even they are rising from China. So it is from China, not from India. So they are being produced in the Xinjiang region, and here we see that China is using forced labor. So it is widespread. It's stated like Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act is also there. It was signed with US by China, but still we see that they are using forced labor. Exports led growth. So 13 gigawatts of assembly capacity. Right now is this is what we see in case of Vari, is India's biggest solar module producer and raked over rupees 11,000 crores in revenue previous year. So there are other two players like Adani subsidiaries are also involved in this sector, like Premier Energies and Vikram Solar. They're important players. So PLI scheme is also there to support again the incremental output and achieve more competitiveness in terms of the solar module. So Mumbai-based company Avari. So backward integration, Indian module exporters, including Vari. So we can talk about how backward link integration may includes developing capacities for the entire value chain, can help in terms of producing again like wafers to cells to modules. So this is one of the part of the supply chain or the value chain which exists. So role of MSMEs can play crucial role here. And we have like approved list of models and manufacturers, and then Directorate General of Trade Remedies. They are also investigating into China dumping the solar modules at predatory prices in India. So this is also happening because of overcapacity in China.
जब सोलर प्रोटेक्शन इंडिया में बात करते हैं तो मेजर कंपनी हमेशा अदानी सोलर है, टाटा पावर है, लेकिन उससे बड़ा एक कंपनी है जो अधिकतर जो सिर्फ और सिर्फ सोलर प्रोडक्शन में फोकस करता है वो। और उसमें सबसे खासियत ये है कि वो रूफ टॉप सोलर को प्रमोट करते हैं, एट द सेम टाइम उनके पास जो टेक्नोलॉजी है वो भी इंडिजिनस है, तो उसको वो आरी एनर्जीज बोलते हैं। उसका आईपीओ होने वाला है और उस लॉन्ग टर्म में वो अच्छा रिटर्न दे। WAARE एनर्जीज, वो लार्जेस्ट है इंडिया में अभी तक में, अडानी और टाटा को भी पीछे करती है विद रिगार्ड टू सोलर
मॉड्यूल प्रोडक्शन
कैपेसिटी।
की बात हो रही है ना यहाँ, सिर्फ सोलर मॉड्यूल प्रोडक्शन में।
पूरा
Then point of view, we have to place people's lives before cars and businesses. So here we can say again people's life, अगर लोग जिंदा होंगे, लोग ज़्यादा healthy होंगे, अभी we can see businesses and other things flourishing. So cars or businesses, that is materialistic thing, that is artificial, वो temporary है।
हेलो।
हाँ जी सर।
ओहो, सॉरी।
Okay, design educator and he's a strategist, Donald Norman. So this is like what he stated on his India's observations. So why design should be people centric and how ordinary people can make a difference. So capitalism can be a positive force also, but as it is practiced, we see it's all about profits, earning profits. So it is completely money oriented. So we have let business take over and forgotten the quality of life. So earlier it was believed कि capitalism और जो businesses flourish करेंगे या चाहे industrial revolution की बात करें तो it would help us in enhancing the quality of life. But over a time period we saw that चाहे businesses हो या even startups हो, the main intention is to concentrate more and more amount of profits. So that is why we can say that we introduced with even the CSR, which is corporate social responsibility. Environment impact assessment हम लेके आए, social impact assessment आया, forest stewardship आया, forest protection laws आए. तो दैट वाज टू बैलेंस दिस, बट अगेन अभी हम मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यूज की अगर हम चाहे बात करें ऑफ द रिगार्डिंग अगेन द वर्कर्स आल्सो, सो या फिर हम एयर पोल्यूशन की बात करें, सो दैट शुड बी द प्रायोरिटी। जैसे यहाँ गूगल के केस में भी बात कर रहे हैं कि अगेन दे आर नॉट हैविंग बिजनेसेस, दे शुड seek or they should promote more of circular economy. या गूगल के केस में with more inclusion of technology we are seeing कि even like cyber crimes are also increasing, चाहे finance से related हो या data safety से related हो, तभी we see that even like deep fakes is emerging as a threat, digital threat. So regarding automobile, he also stated what kind of harm are you doing during the manufacturing process. उसको mitigate करना बहुत important होगा. तो automobile that's run on batteries या EV engine is much heavier. So when you're driving, like little micro particles of rubber, they are in the air. So एक तरीके से again we see और we are more satisfied in terms of like हमारे पास कितनी cars है, कितनी हमारे पास luxury cars है. So even that is another we can say self-harming attitude. औशिक आपको इसमें कोई न्यू डिमेंशन ऐड करनी?
इसमें सस्टेनेबिलिटी की बात किया ना जनरली, और हम लोग 3R इकोनॉमी को कैसे प्रमोट कर सकते हैं, तो ओवरऑल इसमें पीपल सेंट्रिक होना चाहिए। डिजाइन शुड पीपल सेंट्रिक हर एक चीज़ में।
तो monkey business क्या है? Parrots and parakeets, they are born
Not
to.
much important, I think.
हाँ, ठीक है. Scientists believe that laughter and pranking strengthen the bonds between animal groups. So in losing we gain. तो इसको अगर हम again as an essay topic अगर ये आता है, in losing we gain. So firstly is the perspective from which we are looking it makes all the difference. तो ये उसका एक perspective है कि in losing we gain. For example का कोई भी sports game हो, in losing that we are able to identify हमारी weaknesses क्या थी या हम क्यों हारे. We are able to identify that single particular या अगर multiple reasons भी हैं तो we can work upon that. So through that we are gaining. Apart from this, like फेलियर को देखने के दो पर्सपेक्टिव है कि हमने उससे कुछ सीखा एंड वो एक तरीके से दूसरा बोल सकते हैं कि मेंटल स्ट्रेस बन जाता है, उसकी वजह से सुसाइड्स भी होते हैं. सो फेलियर को भी कैसे आप पॉजिटिवली देखते हो कि आपने उससे कुछ सीखा है, एक सेल्फ लर्निंग एक्सरसाइज हुई है, विद टाइम यू आर इम्प्रूविंग अपॉन योर सेल्फ. सो अगेन ये उस पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन की तरफ ही बात कर रहे हैं. तो चाहे बिजनेसेस में ही बात हो, अगर जो अगेन मोस्ट सक्सेसफुल बिजनेस पर्सन इन इंडिया, सो पहला ही अगर वो कुछ स्टेप लेते हैं, कुछ इनोवेट करने की कोशिश करते हैं, तो इट इज नॉट शॉर्ट गारंटी कि वो सक्सेसफुल होने वाले हैं 100%. सो एवरी टाइम यू फेल यू नीड टू रीट्राई, यू नीड टू रीट्राई अंटिल यू आर देयर व्हाट जो आपका विजन था. तो फैटी लिवर फिक्सिंग इट विद डाइट. सो बैलेंस्ड और हेल्दी एंड न्यूट्रिशियस डाइट बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करती है इन डीलिंग विद द लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर्स. So ideal plate for liver जैसे बात करें, use a dessert plate. 60% of your food should be uncooked. It should be again a living food जैसे fiber rich salads हो गया, green leafy vegetables आने होने चाहिए, seeds और lentils आजकल बहुत ज्यादा हो रही हैं. तो don't use saturated fat. Unsaturated fat is more healthier. So include rainbow colored fruits, vegetables, each color signifying richness of the micronutrients. Get rid of sucrose, maltose, glucose, fructose. So इसकी वजह से फैट लिवर और कहीं ना कहीं अगेन डायबिटीज हो या ओबीसिटी हो, सेडेंटरी लाइफस्टाइल, उससे और प्रमोट होता है. पीसीओएस इज अगेन हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंस होता है बॉडी के अंदर. सो अवॉइड स्टफिंग. बैलेंस से मतलब जब आप खा भी रहे हो तो अगेन आपको हैवी फील नहीं होना चाहिए. तो मेक श्योर 1/4 ऑफ योर स्टमक इट इज एम्प्टी. देन नैश की बात हो रही है, लाइक also referred as metabolic dysfunction associated steatohepatitis और MASH भी बोलते हैं. Liver is inflamed due to fat buildup. PCOS, higher than normal blood glucose levels और type 2 diabetes. So फास्ट लाइफ में कैसे हम बैलेंस कर रहे हैं अपनी खुद की हेल्थ को. So Saturday scare, 34 flights get security threats. तो ऑफ लेट ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स इंक्रीज होते हुए दिखाई दे रहे हैं. जैसे विस्तारा गॉट 5 इंटरनेशनल फ्लाइट्स गॉट बॉम्ब थ्रेट्स. इंडिगो में 4 ऐसे. तो थ्रेट्स फ्रॉम द सेम ट्विटर अकाउंट जो एक्स अकाउंट है, एयरलाइन सीईओज दे आल्सो मीट द रेगुलेटर, दैट इज अगेन द ब्यूरो ऑफ सिविल एविएशन सिक्योरिटी. पर्टिकुलरली सिक्योरिटी के लिए वी हैव BCS एंड डायरेक्टरेट जनरल ऑफ सिविल एविएशन आल्सो देयर. सो how to deal with them because Sari again Hawks calls थी. So even we can say because of more digitization also the threat increases. Cybersecurity risk है because again indirectly we also saw कि जब few time ago कोई like there was disruption in the Microsoft software, तो उसकी वजह से the airlines were not able to operate because technology को use करते हैं in terms of tracking. वो जो air route होता है उसको track करने के लिए we see the the technology is used. So more of digitization dependence has again the negative consequences or the vulnerability is rising. So when medicines stop working, so talking about the antibiotics resistance. So even huge reliance on antibiotics is causing a problem. So overuse of antibiotics, over-the-counter drugs, easy availability is causing a global menace in the guise of antimicrobial resistance, increasing risk of disease spread, severe illness, disability, even death. So here we have all the facts and the numbers. We can go through them. So in this context, we have talked about the H1 rule and how Kerala has been able to successfully mitigate antimicrobial resistance with the effective implementation of the H1 rule, which states that no over-counter selling of first line, second line, third line antibiotic drugs would be sold without the doctor's prescription by the shops or the chemist that is there. And this was later tweaked because again जो first line antibiotic drugs है and there is less density or less doctor to population ratio in the far flung areas, so that again healthcare is not a problem or जो affordability, because generic medicines they are more because more competitive या less costly होती है, तो even जन औषधि केंद्र के through they are made available. तो 2013 में it was further tweaked H1 rule कि first line drugs available हो सकते हैं without a prescription. So Kerala इसको सक्सेसफुली इसलिए इम्प्लीमेंट और ये इसलिए वर्क किया बिकॉज इट हैड हाई डॉक्टर टू पेशेंट रेशियो ऑल्सो. सो इसलिए अगर आप बैन करते हो तो फर्स्टली डॉक्टर की अवेलेबिलिटी और एक्सेस टू हॉस्पिटल सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है अगर ये इफेक्टिवली इम्प्लीमेंट करना है. देन जो सेकंड स्टेप कैराना ने लिया कि जो आप अगेन पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री का सराउंडिंग स्टेट से इंपोर्ट करते हो उस पर कंप्लीट बैन कर दिया बिकॉज ऑफ अगेन जो ड्रग्स या हॉर्मोन्स यूज किए जाते हैं इन द पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री, दैट इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द चैलेंज और उसकी वजह से सिमिलर स्पिल ओवर इफेक्ट्स भी हमें देखने को मिलते हैं. So that should be implemented by all the states in India. And then in this case, we see like 39 million people can die from the disease. AMR is one of top global public health and development threats. इसके अलावा again making people more aware, जैसे fever होता है तो we tend to take Dolo या फिर ऐसी medicines ले, but these are considered to be one of the most harmful medicines. So
इसमें
इस
अभी हाल फिलहाल में द गवर्नमेंट हैज published several list of the medicine that related to the antibiotic और प्रिस्क्रिप्शन कैसे डॉक्टर को देना चाहिए इसमें भी कम से कम एक स्टैंडर्ड आने वाला है आई थिंक. हाँ इसमें दिया हुआ ना कि डॉक्टर्स टू मेंशन रीजन व्हाई प्रिस्क्राइबिंग एंटीबायोटिक आउट ऑफ काउंटर सेल. आजकल होता है कि आप जाके सिर्फ प्रिस्क्रिप्शन बिना आप मांगोगे फार्मेसी से आपको मिल जाता है, फार्मेसिस्ट में मिल जाता है,
हाँ वही.
लेकिन रीजन हमें चाहिए.
Folks go feminine, so female folk musicians they take the center stage at Jodhpur IIF Roots Music Festival. So जैसे गोवा में सनबर्न फेस्टिवल होता है तो थ्रू दिस लाइक जैसे ट्रेडिशनल राजस्थानी folk singer is Sundar and her daughter Ganga, they are performing at Jodhpur. So giving these the local जो आर्टिसंस है या जो फोक सिंगर्स हैं उनको अपॉर्चुनिटी देना एक तो इम्पोर्टेंट है व्हेन इट कम्स टू प्रिजर्वेशन ऑफ सच कल्चर एंड जो हमारे फोक सॉन्ग्स हैं प्रैक्टिसेस हैं, that's important and it is being integrated with the tourism aspect also. So another Rajasthani singer, Sumitra Das Goswami, one of her early advocates, intercultural music और promote होना चाहिए उसको हम कैसे intermix कर सकते हैं even the modern forms of music so that even youth gets attracted. Then Kalbilia community या राजस्थान से Kalbilia dance आता है, everybody sings and dances the Kalbilia community. तो even like जैसे घूमर हो गया, घूमर dance and they are practiced by these nomadic communities. और महाराष्ट्र की 18th century लावनी तो shepherd song and dance है. जोधपुर में और भी है बरनाली चट्टोपाध्याय तो हिंदुस्तानी vocalist of Banarasi Mand, well known name in the Thumri tradition.
तो हमने कवर भी किया था कि म्यूजिक
हाँ
आर्ट ये इम्पोर्टेंट होता है, मेंटल हेल्थ के लिए भी है, वो सोल को प्यूरिफाई करता है, वो एक विमेन का अगर रोल बढ़ेगा तो कहीं ना कहीं जो जेंडर पैरिटी विद इन द फोक आर्ट वो कम हो जाएगा। प्लस जो फोक आर्ट है उसको कंजर्व करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, इंटैंजिबल हेरिटेज भी है कुछ कुछ एरियाज में। और ऊपर से तो विमेन का इंक्लूजन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, फोक गोज फेमिनिन, ताकि फिर जो विमेन सेंट्रिक इश्यूज है उसको हाईलाइट कर सकते हैं फोक सिंगर के थ्रू, डांस के थ्रू। तो कहीं ना कहीं सोसाइटी के अंदर सेंसिटिविटी विद रिगार्डिंग टू सोशल इशू वो बढ़ सकता है। और बुस्टिक एक फोक एक तरह से एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी भी क्रिएट करता है। फॉर एग्जांपल जब G20 होता है या फिर कुछ बिग इवेंट होता है भारत मंडपम में, उसमें मैनी ऑफ द फोक आर्टिस्ट आर कॉल्ड फॉर परफॉर्मेंस बिफोर द इम्पोर्टेंट हेड ऑफ स्टेट। तो ये दिखाता है कि जो फोक है, हाउ इट कनेक्ट्स, हाउ इट प्रिजर्व्स एज वेल एज हाउ इट क्रिएट्स अ ब्रांड वैल्यू ऑफ इंडिया विद रिगार्ड टू दिस।
हम्म।
सिमिलरली पपेट्री का भी इसमें वो
ये फैक्चुअल है यहाँ पे, ये भी इसी को बता भी रहे हैं कि कैसे प्रिजर्व करने में दे हैव बीन एबल टू सक्सेसफुली प्रिजर्व इट थ्रू, लाइक जैसे केरला संगीत नाटक अकेडमी से उनको फंड्स मिलते हैं, तो फंड्स के थ्रू उन्होंने एक ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम भी स्टार्ट किया, 20 मंथ ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम, डिफरेंट स्कूल्स। सो यहाँ बात हो रही है इसकी पवकात थकली। सो दिस इज अगेन पपेटरी फॉर्म है from Kerala. So today there is no support from state or central government for keeping this art form alive. So it is 18th century puppetry performance. Andhra region में भी आते हैं, केरला में भी, and made Palakkad their home. तो कथकली की जब हम बात करते हैं तो these puppetries, these are performed. So how relevant is it for today's new audience? Any art that will die if it loses its artistic relevance. So puppets do some things human beings cannot. New generation appreciates the art form. So even people are intrigued with them. So these puppets are made from wood. तो ये एक example हो गया. We can remember this fact also यहाँ से. So जो हम pending GST, okay, we'll take up with the next link. Short of time.